The letter O. Oh my goodness. The letter O. Not easy, but I think it's fun. Okay, so I'm going to set up my 4 spaces. Again, yours should be very light. You shouldn't even be able to see them. Let's see. My block is a little short, so I'm going to make sure that I really have these lined up and continue them just so you know what I'm doing. Okay. Now, ay, ay, ay. What do we do here? What we're going to do, instead of drawing half of the O, we're going to only be drawing a quarter of the O in order to really, really be precise and get it to look quote unquote perfect. And then we're going to draw the quarter that we've drawn. I'm going to flip it and put it in the other 3/4. So bear with me. Using the inches side of the ruler, you know that this top space is not 0, it's nothing. So I'm going to line this up. And if you really look closely, it has to do with like the thickness of the pencil when you trace the template, blah, blah, blah. It's a little confusing to explain. So you'll notice that it isn't perfectly 4 inches. It's a little tiny bit wider. So what I'm going to do is when I mark the middle here, I'm not going to mark it exactly at 2 inches. I'm going to mark it like just a tiny little bit lower. And I'm going to take my T-square, make sure it's hooked on my paper. And this is going to be a race, so it's going to be very, very light. And I'm going to start to sketch out the curve of the O. So I want to go from the outside of the leftmost line, the outside of space 1, to the top of the center line. Get a nice, you want it to be, definitely look round. Try not to have it too flat. I think that mine still looks kind of flat. Do I like that? Do I like that? No, I don't love that. I'll pull that out even more. Okay, so I think I'm gonna rock that. All right, now the trick is, again, we need this to be 3/4 inches wide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to need to figure out how far down 3/4 is. So I'm going to take my block tracer and I'm going to line it up on my top guideline. But I'm only going to, I don't know if that's straight. There we go. I'm only going to put it halfway across and I'm going to make a mark at underneath where I had lined it up. So now I know that this is 3/4 inches. I also know that this is 3/4 inches. So I'm going to create a similar curve from the mark I just made to the inside of space 1. Now this is important. You don't want to use pen when you transfer for an O, and I'm going to show you why. So I'm reusing my piece from C because I am not going to waste any tracing paper because I'm a good artist. I'm a good art student and I know how expensive it is. And in fact, I'm going to reuse my tape. Tape this down. Okay. Now I'm going to trace, pressing hard, not with an H pencil. I'm going to trace the two sort of like rainbows, the two curves I made. And I'm trying to trace them as exact as I can. Okay. Now, take my tape off. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to line it up. Look at this. Look at this. Do you see the magic happening? This is insane. It's insanity, people. All right. Now, the reason I'm not going to use a pen is because I still have to flip this and trace it. And if I press with pen, it's going to put pen on my project. So with an O, you really do not want to use a pen. I'm just going to press really hard. I'm using just an HB pencil, just a regular pencil. If you wanted to use a B pencil, you can. You just really want it to have a point. So now do you see how I have half an O? So now I'm going to pull this up. Save my tape. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Now I'm going to flip this so that it fits into space number 4. Okay, now I know you see it's a little wonky, but we're going to fix that. Don't worry. So again, only using the pencil because I still need to transfer it. I'm going to press really hard. And I'm going to move it into that space. It's looking a little pointed like a football, but don't worry. We're going to fake it till we make it. And now, this is important. You want to try to make sure that it all lines up. Tape it down. I mean, if your head is not exploding with how amazing this is, then I just don't know. I don't know what to say. Now, this is really helpful to hold on to this because this will help you make curves for other letters. I'll peel this up. And I know that this has like a little point in it. So I'm just going to kind of round it a bit to get the point out. I mean, nobody's going to see it once it's gone. And I'm going to just clean out my O, erase all these unnecessary marks, and wowie wow wow. Quote unquote, perfect letter O. I'm going to erase. I'm going to keep this in here you should erase it. I'm going to keep it up just so people could see how it's, I'm going to use it sort of as like a display it. So people see how the center is super important here. Oh my goodness, I did it, guys. I did it.